Greetings, traders. Zach here from the Trading Network. I hope you guys are doing well. I am back with yet another weekly market profile forecast for both the ES and NQ futures markets. If you guys are new to the channel and new to this video series, first and foremost, welcome. What we do in this video series is we discuss a weekly forecast using market profile analysis, going over key levels for the coming week. By the end of this video, you guys will have key levels to look at, base trades off of, base risk off of, use for targets, and at the very least, levels that you can pay attention to and keep an eye on for reaction around if you are new to the market profile in general. Now, with that said, we're going to dive on into the NQ market profile, the daily, the session profile, that is, and then we will proceed to move into the weekly profile and do the same for ES. So without wasting any more of your guys' time, let's get started. All right, so what we have here is the market profile, the daily session market profile for NQ futures. For those of you guys new to market profile, each of these profiles represents a session, and the blue profile are the overnight session, or the ETH, the extended trading hour sessions, and the purple profiles here are the regular trading hour sessions, or New York sessions. So anything that takes place basically from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Now, what we do, or what I do on a daily basis, is I create trade plans based on market profile analysis, looking at where the new New York session is opening in relation to the prior New York session, for example. Now, without getting too deep into detail in that regard, what I will be looking at moving forward into this week is reaction to Friday's profile. You can see we have Friday's high here at 15,390, Friday's low here at 15,255. We've got Friday's value area between 15,293 at the value low and 15,358 at the value high. And once again, for those new to the market profile or less familiar, the value area is where 70% of the trading activity takes place for any given session. So you can see between the value area high and the value area low, that is where a large majority of the trading activity takes place in every single session. Every session has a value area, a value high, value low, and a point of control, which is the single price where the most trading activity took place. So what I will be looking at is reaction to Friday's value area. We are currently inside value between 358 and 293. So I'll want to see if we can move and hold above Friday's high at 15,390. And if we can, I'll be looking for a bit of a larger move up to like 15,440-ish, and then an even larger move up to 15,515. And we have a naked point of control up here, 15,537. Naked POC is a point of control from a prior session that has not been touched in a subsequent session. So you can see we have 15,537 there. POC was established on September 5th, and we have not traded back up to that 15,537 level since that was established. So very important level to look at, especially if we get some upside pressure moving into the week. And if price can't move and hold above Friday's high, I'll be looking for a move down below Friday's value, 15,293, below Friday's low, or first to Friday's low, to see what kind of reaction we get there. And then if that can't hold the support, down to 15,220-ish, 215, and then we have 180 and 160 are key levels that I will be looking at moving forward as well. 157 is basically the low from last week, 15,157 on NQ to be precise, so pay attention to that level as well. I think that is sufficient for the NQ session profile, so let's hop on over to the weekly and see what we got going. So here we have the NQ weekly market profile chart. So once again, for those of you guys new to this video series, new to market profile, the way I have this set up is this is showing a weekly profile for regular trading hours sessions. So this is New York session only, and this is 1 week of price action per profile. So this is the value area for the weekly profile, which means this is where the most trading activity took place for this week. And you can see we have all of these levels marked off on the weekly the same way we do the session profile. So price currently trading at 15,309, right above, or not too far above, the POC from last week. So the price where we did the most business, or the most trading activity took place in the entire week, was 15,267. This to the right-hand side is the volume composite profile for the month. So the most volume that was done for the month was actually up here at basically 15.5K. So holding this 270 level is going to be important. If so, we're likely to move back into 15,356. That is the weekly high from August 21st. If we can get above 356 on a larger scale, we are likely to move to 427. That is the value area high from last week's weekly market profile. And then above 427, we have 15.5K, which is just below the naked POC that we were talking about on the session profile. I'll pop over here and just remind you guys of this, 15,537. So going back to the weekly profile, that's going to be a very, very important area for upside, because the monthly VPOC is up there as well as that naked POC from September 5th. Now, downside on a higher scale, if we break 267 to the downside, I think quick move to 250 is very likely, and then we can probably start looking for bigger moves down to 15,193, 15,159, which also lines up with last week's low and value area low at 15,157. So this 159 level, that's the POC from the weekly profile of August 14th, and then this right here, once again, is last week's low and value area low. So 15,150, very important level to the downside. If that breaks, we've got 15.1K, and then 14,990 is what I would call this, and there's good confluence down there as well. But we are all the way up here at 15.3K, so one level at a time. That is the most important thing. We just have to watch what price does at these levels, and that will tell us what kind of, if any, trade opportunity there is. So with that said, I think this is good for NQ. Now let's hop on over to the ES session profile and get down with some S&P futures. All right, so back in the world of the session profile, this time for ES futures or S&P 500 futures, if you guys are really new to trading futures in this channel. Main instruments that I trade, S&P 500 futures, also known as ES, and NASDAQ 100 futures, also known as NQ. That might be very obvious to a large majority of you, but I want to, make sure that I'm welcoming new people to the channel and new people to the futures trading community in general. So with that in mind, let's discuss some ES levels on the session profile scale. So currently trading 44.63 and a quarter, right below the POC 44.65. That's Friday's POC there. So very similar to NQ. I want to see the reaction to Friday's range. If we can move above Friday's range, we're likely to see higher prices. This would be a test of, Wednesday's high 44.94. I think if we move and hold above, value high from Friday at 73, obviously the high from Friday isn't too high above that, and then we will likely get a move to 44.86 and a quarter. 44.95 and a quarter, which is confluent with 44.9350. That's the overnight POC from September 5th into the September 6th session. And for those of you guys, once again, new or just wanting to learn more about the profile, if you have the market profile on your chart and you see overlapping or you see multiple sessions with levels, at the same price or around the same price, that is a very important area. Now, what I want to show you guys here and just make very clear what I'm talking about is we have 44.9350. That is the overnight point of control, this pink line right here, okay? Now, the next day, the high of day was only 3 ticks above that, right? Not even a full point at 44.94 and a quarter. Now, you can see that the market opened up here, 44.93 that day. It moved up, tested the overnight point of control, and then immediately sold off, and we never traded back above 44.75 the entire rest of the session. So that is how you can use these market profile levels to your advantage significantly on a daily basis. That is why we release the trade plans on a daily basis for free 30 minutes after the open, and we release them for our private community members about 45 minutes before the open as well, so they can have, just even more of an edge and have that plan ready for them if they are not creating their own trade plan. So with that in mind, Friday's profile, any Monday that I come to the charts, I'll put it like this. I want to look at the prior Friday's New York session. I want to look at the high, the low, the POC, the value area, and the subsequent session, the next session on Monday, I want to see how price reacts to those prior days levels. That is very, very telling, and just knowing that will give you more of an edge than most people will ever have, in my opinion. So with that in mind, downside, if we break 44.60, that's value low. Look for a move down to 54 first and foremost, then 44.51, that's Friday's low. If we break Friday's low, I'll be looking for a move to the overnight low from Thursday into Friday at 44.43. If 44.43 breaks, look at this. We've got confluence down here between the overnight low from the 6th into 7th and the 7th regular trading hours low at 44.34. So there's only 2 ticks of a difference between the overnight low here and the regular trading hours low there. So look, very, very similar here, although we did trade back below the low in E period. the overnight low from the prior session, the prior overnight session, basically held as the low. That is a very, very common thing. You can watch how price reacts both to the prior New York session and the overnight profile, which is why I use these levels every single day once again. So those would be levels that I would be looking at on an intraday basis if you guys are just looking to take, fairly small scalps and, not holding longer positions overnight or anything like that. So keep an eye on those levels on an intraday basis, and we will pop on over to the weekly profile and see what's up on that end. All right, so let's get into some ES weekly profile. This is going to be short and sweet. This is going to be very simple, as it is basically the same analysis as ES, or as NQ rather. We are going to be watching the reaction first and foremost to the POC, because that is the closest major level that we are at, 44.64. Acceptance above 44.64, which means if price can move and hold above that level, spend time, do business above that level, I'll be looking for a move to 44.76. That is obviously not very high above 44.64, but that's the first larger target, which is a weekly high from August 21st. Now, if we move and hold above 44.76, I'll be looking for a move up here to last week's value high at 45.04. Move and hold above 45.04, look for a move to 45.13, up to 45.28 if that holds, and then up to 45.47 if 45.28 gets acceptance as well. So that is basically it. We're pretty much playing price dominoes. If 44.63 does not act as support, if we do not get price acceptance above that area, which is very important because it's last week's value low, and it's 2 weeks ago value low and last week's POC. Okay, so if we can't hold that level, look for a move down to 44.34. Once again, that's last week's low and value area low. And then if that breaks 44.23, 44.10, we've got a weekly naked POC, which means this was the level where price did the most business there. It spent the most time at 44.10.25, and we have not moved back down and touched that level in a subsequent session since that was created the week of August 21st. So if we do see more selling pressure, I would be looking for a move down to 44.10. So that is it as far as the profile analysis goes. Let's switch on over to the NQ, ES daily and weekly chart real quick, and I'll just give you guys my thoughts on the candle chart as well. Okay, so here we have the NQ daily chart. Pretty inconclusive at the moment. We have another local top confirmed, which we confirmed on the 6th of last week. So really going to be important to see if we can put in a higher low compared to these lows down here, or this low in particular that was confirmed basically at 15.1K. So if tomorrow we have a daily close above, let's see, what do we got here? If we get a close tomorrow above 15.390.75, that will be a higher low on the daily chart, and I will look for a move back up towards 15.5, 15.6K. If we actually close below the low of the prior daily bar, below 15.223, I will be looking for a move back down to retest this 15K area, 15.1K, 15K, 14.9K area. You do see the oscillators here curling and crossing to the downside. We do have a high, a lower high, and then we've put in another subsequent lower high here with oscillator confluence. And just to show you guys here, we got downside pressure here, and that was continued pretty significantly here. So just want to be careful and cautious and aware. But most importantly, just understanding what kind of opportunity lies on both sides. Price doesn't need to go up for us to make money. There's a ton of opportunity to take that elevator down. If I, just do a little bit more mental masturbation here, you can see we do have a trend line. So, if price came down and broke this like 15.1K level, I think we could pretty quickly get a retest of like 14.850, something like that. So those are my thoughts on NQ daily. Let's just check out the weekly real quick. Give me 1 second here. Boom, there we go. And here is the weekly chart. So it's going to be important to see. Once again, we have a weekly local low right here confirmed. So it's going to be important to see what kind of reaction we get to last week's bar. Do we close below it? If we get a weekly close below 15.160, very likely further downside back to like 14.750. And if we get a weekly close back above 15, call it 15.6K, I think we get a retest of 15.850. up to the upside. So that's my thoughts on NQ for the week. And let's move on over to ES. We'll check out the daily real quick. Very, very similar scenario here. Really just looking for, first and foremost, to see if we can put in a local low here. If we do, that will lean probability a bit more to the upside. But these oscillators are a little spooky. I will say that, and I will be keeping an eye on those as well. So, upside, probably move if we confirm a higher low, probably a move up to 50 or 45 30ish, and then if we do not confirm a higher low, we could see price move back down to 43.80ish on a daily scale. And once again, on the weekly candlestick chart, similar situation here. If we close a weekly top, looking for a move, 46.20 and above. If we close a local low, I would look for a move up to 46.20 and above. And if we close a local top on the weekly, which would also be a lower high on the weekly, I would look for a test of 43.80 at the very least, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it move back down here to 42.90, which is the weekly 50 EMA. So things to consider. Weekly oscillators do still have room to the downside as well on both ES and NQ. So things to be cautious for once again. So with that said, guys, keep an eye on these levels that I have discussed in these videos. If you simply mark off these levels and watch what price does at or around these levels, you will have very likely immense high probability trade opportunity throughout the week and every week that you follow these weekly market profile forecasts. So with that said, I want to thank you guys as always for taking the time to watch this content. If you do like what you see, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and click that bell notification to be notified every single time we post videos here on the channel. If you guys want to learn more about what we do here at the Trading Network, check out our website, thetradingnetwork.io, where you can purchase access to our most popular offering, the Trading Network Pro Trader Bundle, which includes lifetime access to our private Discord where we live stream our trading Monday through Friday starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It also includes access to the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course where you will learn the very strategies that we trade step by step on our live streams on a daily basis. And you will also receive the TTN Proprietary Indicator Package, which contains the indicators that coincide with the strategies we teach and trade with every single day. If you guys have any questions about anything I've mentioned in this video, please feel free to drop a comment down below. You can also shoot us an email at info@thetradingnetwork.io, or you can hit us up on Instagram at the.trading.network, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can and help any way we can as well. Thank you guys once again. I appreciate you very much. I hope you have a great trading week, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.